What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Face Yourself. So today we're going to be diving into struggling actor Johnny Cage. Much like most of the chapters so far, we'll go over Johnny Cage's previous outfits from Mortal Kombat 1992 to Mortal Kombat 1. His special abilities and how have they changed, since we all know now that he doesn't have his shadow powers anymore. And then we'll talk about the impact of Sonya not being around in the story as of this video. And then finally, how has he changed from the previous timeline? I'm not gonna lie, Johnny not having his shadow powers is crazy. He's had it since he first premiered in Mortal Kombat, so them taking it away is just kind of nuts and ballsy. But I respect the fact that NRS aren't afraid to take chances, but we'll see if it pays dividends once Mortal Kombat 1 finally releases.
Johnny Cage. Choose your destiny. Superb.
Starting off with his appearance in the Mortal Kombat games, Johnny Cage has a muscular build with tight pants and his trademark sunglasses. As many of you guys already know, Johnny Cage was directly inspired by Jean-Claude Van Damme's character from Bloodsport, and if you don't know, now you know. Consisting of black gauntlets, black shorts, and a red sash, and black shoes, Johnny Cage was basically almost an exact replica of his Bloodsport counterpart in Jean-Claude Van Damme. But moving into Mortal Kombat 2, Johnny Cage wears a blue and black wristband instead of the black gauntlets. He now wears a blue belt and switches from shorts to long pants with blue shin guards. Starting to move away from the Bloodsport inspired costume, and he also now wears sneakers instead of the black shoes that he wore in his Mortal Kombat appearance. So moving on to Mortal Kombat 3, Johnny starts coming into his own style. He now wears his sunglasses, and because I think in Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat 2 he didn't wear his sunglasses, which I thought was kind of strange, because you know all his pictures show that he has sunglasses on. But anyways, so he finally wears his sunglasses, and the gauntlets make a return. This time they're blue and black instead of just the black and white variation. He also wears black gloves over his hands and blue and black pants. The blue and black pants make a return as well. The shin guard now has more details, and he switches from his white Air Forces to blue and black shoes. So continuing on from Mortal Kombat 4, not much really has changed from his MK3 to MK4 outfits, other than he loses the gloves, but he keeps the blue and black gauntlets and the shin guards, but they are updated a bit with much more detail. His blue belt returns as well, and his pants are a bit different. He now has like white stripes along the sides of his black pants. And he changes shoes, now rockets and black and white Adidas from the shoes from the third game. In Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, this is where we'll see Johnny Cage's directly. He drew so to me, like, he drew inspiration from his Mortal Kombat 1 costume, and then his the original Mortal Kombat 1992 and the Mortal Kombat 4 skin. Returning to the days of shorts, although a longer variation of it, he all wears all black. Like, the shorts are all black outside of the Cage white letters on the sides, and the black duct tape looking sections on his thighs. Like, I don't know why that was added, but whatever. It's not a big deal. And not to mention that, like, the very bottom has like yellow lining around the sides. And this is the first time he doesn't wear sneakers, so he switched out sneakers for white wraps that go around his ankles and his arms. But it's a bit different because his left arm has white wraps while his right arm has like blue wrapping around it. He also has elbow pads and gold biceps bands. Like, they were really moving around with the blue and gold aspect of his character in this game, I'm not gonna lie. And he has new sunglasses, so he switched out his black sunglasses for blue sunglasses. He had blue frames and blue lenses. But I think, if I'm being honest, the two things that stick out on this costume is the tattoo on his back and the new lion-inspired belt with the two gold ropes hanging down. Unfortunately, Johnny Cage didn't make an appearance in Mortal Kombat Deception, much like Sonya and Katana as well. I think like a bunch of characters were under the spell of Onaga during that time, so that's probably why we didn't see any new outfits from him. And basically, they just reused his Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance skin in the Mortal Kombat Armageddon, so there's not much to talk about there. So moving on to Mortal Kombat 9, Johnny's outfit is tweaked. It's a tweaked version of his Mortal Kombat 4 outfit. The white along the pant leg is now blue, and the outfit overall has been updated. The belt now has a gold piece plated with Cage on it, And the shin guards finally make a return, as well as the sneakers, now gray and blue. His black shades make a return as well. He also has his name tatted across his chest. This outfit just screams ego, I'm not gonna lie. But moving on to Mortal Kombat X, Johnny Cage's new design is kind of plain, honestly. He wears like a blue long sleeve shirt, gray jeans, and a black vest, and his hair has grayed noticeably. He also wears his wraps again and black gloves to cover his hands. And you can see Johnny's tat, it's like the top part of it, even when he's wearing his original design. But he also has a necklace in this variation, which I thought was interesting. So moving on to Mortal Kombat 11, I think this is probably one of my favorite designs for Johnny Cage, like the primary one. He now wears a military army vest with long sleeve black shirt underneath, and he has dog tags to replace the necklace he had before. He still keeps his sunglasses, and then he also wears like a blue cargo pants with like knee pads, and he carries the handgun strapper on his legs. And he also now has combat boots, which I thought was very interesting. This character overall just seems like Johnny Cage is in the military now. He's official part of the special forces, which I liked a lot because I think the outfit was pretty dope. And he also had the Cage belt does make a return though. Johnny Cage has to have the flare in his outfit always. But yeah, the new outfit, it was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. But in Mortal Kombat 1, I don't want to say I hate the outfits, but I feel like they could have used more work into it. I feel like they took a step back in like Johnny Cage's case, because like he's wearing like a long sleeve gray and blue shirt that it's like a long sleeve shirt, but I don't know if it's rolled up or if it's just short on the very ends of it. I think it's just a bit shorter than normal. But anyways, he makes a return with the white wraps make a return in this game, and he's wearing sweatpants. So, and in this sweatpants, like at the very top, with the gold trimming, there's actually the Cage letters stitched into the outfit. You know, he always got to have Cage or Johnny on his outfit. So most of the time it's Cage when it comes to the belt, though. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like both of these costumes are like this costume and then the dress pants and shirt costume, they're kind of boring. Like I'm hoping like, you know, the John Van Damme skin is a lot cleaner, and I'm hoping they have better skins for him, because like I'm not gonna lie, the primary and the alternate just kind of seems very, very boring to me. But anyways, like I just wanted to quickly like go over the outfits and just like give my personal opinion on the new outfit for Mortal Kombat 1. Like again, like I said, like it just seems kind of boring, but at the end of the day, like, you know, it is what it is. Like I'm sure they'll have more costumes for Johnny. I just want to give you guys my input on it. But anyways, that's gonna complete this part of the chapter, and there's gonna be no more costumes right now until we get into the actual game. Before we start with his abilities, I just wanted to say, with the shadow powers gone, some of his moves have changed quite a bit. Mainly his shadow ball is gone. You can still see some sort of after image on his attacks, just no green aura. His shadow kick returns, as well as the shadow uppercut. The infamous nut punch also makes a return. One of his new moves is probably the command dash, which he can use to close distances with opponents, and if you do it when you're close to someone, he goes through the opponent. Also, you can do it twice. That's going to be really great to close distances, but he still is very vulnerable though, so you can hit him with a range attack to keep him at bay. They introduced a new mechanic for Johnny, the height meter. At the end of special moves, he can hold the pose to gain meter, but this leaves him extremely vulnerable. During the demonstration, we see some kind of shadow punch. You can use the hype taunt, and he'll change the sunglasses. So if you do like a shadow punch, he'll just throw the other sunglasses away and then bring new ones in, which I think is kind of cool. If you do the nut punch version of the taunt, he'll wink at the camera while he's still doing the split. And then the shadow kick version, he slowly just lowers his leg from up in the air. And then when he finally gets the full meter, a spotlight will appear on his head, and he can now special cancel into his special build moves, meaning he can nut punch like 3 times or shadow kick 3 times, or he can just cancel out of his special ability altogether to stop it from going fully through. He can also taunt, like, you know, the 3 downs, like he does like this little DX from like wrestling taunt where he like points at his groin, and that's another one that you can use to increase the meter. The taunt also gives you a height meter, so like, you know, basically what I was just saying. One more cool feature to this mechanic is you can use it instead of bar for special moves, but you can only do it once per combo. So you get a free use of the bar, which is kind of nuts, and like that can really come in clutch for any Johnny Cage players. He also has a new mechanic where he can use meter to break the throw and break the arm of a character, which makes them unable to throw for a short period of time. I tried to get a rough estimate of how long it did, and from what I was counting, it was between 8 and 10 seconds. When like, to me, this seems like it's a little too long. I feel like by release they might push it up to 5 seconds, but you know, that's gonna about cover it for his special moves. I'm gonna be honest, he seems super busted, especially with his new mechanics. I could see him being extremely hard to deal with when the game first comes out and people are just getting their hands on it. Okay, so moving on to a section that I'm really excited to talk to you guys about. As many of you guys know, Sonya's like my favorite female character in the game. And like, as much as I've talked about her, I'm sure you guys know by now. But anyways, so this chapter is we're basically going to talk about the importance of Sonya not being around right now. So we'll basically use what we know already from Mortal Kombat 9 story and how Johnny has interacted with Sonya and how that relationship has impacted him for Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat X, and Mortal Kombat 11. So starting on, Johnny spent the entire game trying to impress Sonya, defending her against Kano.
Throw that on your Barbie, shrimp.
Thanks.
No problem. Who is that guy, anyway?
At first, he seems very arrogant, but eventually, as the story continues, he softens up. He starts seeing her as more of a pretty blonde. This is probably the first time he's had a normal female like deny him, and just like him realizing that she's more than just like some dumb blonde, like that she's someone that's like intelligent and smart and just someone he could see himself being with. That to me is like what he started realizing towards the end of the game. Being the only Earth, especially after being the only Earthrealmers that survived the onslaught of Sindel, Sonya and Johnny became the sole defense force for Earthrealm. Eventually, Kenshi and other characters joined, especially during the NetherRealm War. Johnny and Sonya fought alongside Kenshi, Fujin, and Raiden to keep Shinnok at bay. Shinnok at one point attempts to kill Sonya to resurrect her like Quan Chi did with all the other heroes from Earthrealm, but Johnny jumps to save her with his green aura from Shinnok.
She will be the first to join me. No! I'm not sure what just happened to me, but I am sure of this. You don't even think of hurting her.
They eventually do get married and eventually have a daughter, Cassie. After her birth, a rift grows between Sonya and Johnny. Sonya disappears into her work, neglecting her family. Having had enough, Johnny decides divorce is the best option. He raises Cassie pretty much on his own, seeing as Sonya is just so enveloped in her work. At the conclusion of the Mortal Kombat X, and after Cassie defeats Shinnok, Sonya is concerned for Johnny after he almost died. It was hinted that they got back together, especially after you hear her say Johnny. Usually when Sonya says Johnny, you know, that's some kind of like sentimental thing between the two of them.
We'll fix you up. Help is on the way.
You should have seen Cass. Wipe the floor with Shinnok.
I believe it. And you did a great job with your team, Johnny.
You hear that, Cass? She called me Johnny.
I thought she might.
We would later find out that they did indeed get back together in the Mortal Kombat 11 story. Their first interaction between them leads to a kiss. For the first time, we see Sonya and Johnny act like a couple.
Congratulations, Commander.
Come on, Dad. You really have to go?
Well, you've got your duty, Commander, and I got mine.
Starring in yet another Ninja Mime sequel isn't what I'd call duty.
I need to provide for you in the manner to which you've become accustomed.
Jeez, guys, I'm right here.
And unfortunately, this doesn't last long because Sonya does eventually die in the beginning of the story. After returning back to Earth Realm, where Johnny was, he asks where Sonya is, and Cassie drops to her knees and breaks down crying.
Fuck you.
General, can you hear me?
General! Mom!
I'm here, Cass.
Hang tight, we'll get you guys out.
They're gone. Cass. And I'm not gonna make it.
What? I'm not leaving you behind!
Get your team home.
That's an order. Your duty. Mine's to finish the mission.
Mom, no, we can save you.
I love you, Cass. Give your dad a kiss for me.
Mom, no, don't.
Mom? Mom! She started the detonation sequence. Override it, Jackie! There is no override. Commander! Our orders are to leave.
Your mother died a warrior's death. May we all be so fortunate.
You did not just say that.
Thank God you're back. How did the mission go?
Like, first under the first hour they end up killing her right off, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? But anyways, a few moments later, a young version of all the characters, including Sonya, appears, and Johnny just gets super emotional when talking about Sonya to his younger self.
So, a married lieutenant princess over there. Always had a thing for blondes. Ever since Susie DiNardo Junior year. Take it from me, you didn't miss much. That woman over there, she's the real deal.
And later in the story, when Sonya and young Cage get captured, Johnny seems to be maturing fast. The younger one, I mean. Coming up with a calm and decisive plan while they're being held by the Black Dragon to fight each other. Meanwhile, Sonya's ego kind of gets in the way a bit, and kind of blocks. Luckily, Johnny was able to keep a mellow head and just telling her, "Hey, just hit me. Don't pull any punches because they're gonna know that we're pulling our punches right away, and they'll just kill us." So basically, he's like, "Look, let's give us some time, and the rest of the Earthrealm Warriors will come and find them." Which that's exactly what happened. And Cassie came in storming, killing a bunch of warriors, and helping free Sonya and Johnny.
And give them the satisfaction of watching us fight? Like hell.
You said it. They'll kill us whether we fight or not. Fighting buys us time to find a way out. So, quit being a diva. Hit me.
Take a dive.
No way. These people know dive when they see one.
And after a few fights with the Black Dragon, and after Kano gets killed by Sonya, Johnny can be seen being wrapped up by Sonya. And they have a moment where Johnny and Sonya talk about a dinner date. Basically, Johnny just goes over about him not being a jerk and an asshole and just wants to start over and asks her to a dinner date. And Sonya just talks to Cassie about how she could see herself actually dating Johnny.
For reminding me of the rules.
Sweet move. I'm totally stealing that one for Timequake. How about dinner sometime? You know, thank you for saving my life. And apologize for being, well, me. No pressure, no romance.
Patience is a virtue, Cage. Listen, what I said back at the base about the mission, it wasn't fair. You're a damn fine soldier. I'm so proud I can almost picture myself dating Johnny. Almost.
I wish I could go back, do our last mission over.
It wasn't easy finding out how I'd die, or could die. But I reread the file. You followed orders, saved your squad. I'm just glad that my sacrifice saved Earthrealm. And you.
This is the last time we see Johnny and Sonya in the Mortal Kombat 11 story. I assume Johnny was severely injured and Sonya wanted to stay behind to be with him. Or they just forgot that they were in the game and they just didn't put him in any other story chapters, which I just think is weird. But as you can see, Sonya had a huge impact on Johnny Cage's story throughout Mortal Kombat 9 to MK11. So it'll be interesting to see if she isn't in the game, how will he unfold as a Mortal Kombat character. But honestly, in every iteration of Mortal Kombat where Sonya and Johnny Cage are in it, this always has that tie-in with Sonya Blade being around and how Johnny and her just always somehow end up together. So it's just gonna be interesting to see if she isn't in the first game, how he'll be as a character, which I'm almost like about 80% sure she's in the game. It just doesn't make sense for Sonya not to be in the game. She's one of the main characters of Mortal Kombat. So to take her out, like, I just don't think that. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't think it can happen, but it's not a really high chance for it to happen. But hey, we don't know. You never know. Like they could change that, or maybe they add her in as a DLC character, which I'll be fine with. If they add her as a DLC character, that's fine with me. And then in this game, they may make her a main roster character. That's fine. Okay, so in this final section, we'll just quickly talk about all the different ways Johnny Cage's character has been throughout each game. We'll go over the bios for each of the games that he's in, and then just pretty much just come up to a conclusion of, has he changed or is he still the same Johnny Cage that we know and that we love? Okay, so starting off, we're going to start with Mortal Kombat 1992. A superstar trained by great masters from around the world and current box office champ of movies such as Dragon Fist 1 and 2. So in the first game, he was not struggling yet. He was a megastar. And if I'm being honest, like the only time I really remember seeing that he was struggling was probably in Mortal Kombat 1 or during one of the bios of MKS or MK11. Like those are the only times, like in the beginning, like he was always like, he was a megastar. But anyways, following the first tournament, Johnny decides to follow Liu Kang through into Outworld, where they will take part in another twisted tournament which holds the balance of Earthrealm. Earthrealm. Sorry about that. As well as a script for another blockbuster movie. But if we're being honest, like if we go by the storyline, Mortal Kombat 2 tournament was supposed to be the end of all the tournaments. Like whoever won gets control of the realm or gets free from being able to be conquered by Shao Kahn. Johnny was still not a struggling actor, which I think is kind of weird because, like, you know, at this time I was just thinking, it's like, I thought in the old games he was a struggling actor, and then going back and reading these bios, I'm like, wait, he was not struggling there. He was always like a successful actor. So Johnny Cage was actually killed during the events of Mortal Kombat 3, much like the story of the Mortal Kombat 2 movie. He was killed during a battle with an extermination squad. But due to the merger of Outworld and Earthrealm, he managed to cheat death when the path to the afterlife was blocked off. His soul eventually takes possession of his body once again, enabling him to rejoin his friends for Earth's survival. I don't know why I never read the bios for Johnny Cage. He had some really interesting bios. I didn't know that the movie and the game had the same story, except the only noticeable difference was that in the game, Johnny survives. After the defeat of Shao Kahn, Cage's soul was free to move on to a higher plane. But after learning about the war with Shinnok, Cage seeks Raiden's help with restoring his deceased soul. Johnny joins Liu Kang on his quest to rejoin the Earthrealm champions. Once again, I felt like they reused Johnny's story for Liu Kang since Johnny didn't stay dead. So in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, not a lot changed in Johnny's bio, except that he wanted to make an entrance, so he landed at the exact part of the beach that he wanted to from more than likely from a helicopter. He jumped out with a parachute. So I don't know why like this was necessary to know, but that's basically what happened in his bio. And then they basically learn about the fact that Liu Kang had been killed and basically discuss how they're gonna fight back against Outworld. Johnny wasn't really around in Deception, presumably because he was under control by Onaga, like the rest of the Earthrealm warriors, including Kitana. But with Liu Kang dead and Raiden abandoning the Earthrealm warriors, they were once again on their own after being released from Onaga's control due to Ermac and Liu Kang's spirit. Johnny had begun having visions of Shinnok's return. Cage followed his visions to Shinnok, where he was giving orders to a minion. Cage initially thought it was a fitting place that it led them back to where it all started, on Shang Tsung's island. Johnny confronting and beating the fake Shinnok, which we would find out later during the Shinnok's ending that it was a doppelganger that had been participating in Armageddon. The doppelganger eventually fled through some smoke, more than likely a teleport. Johnny had to gather the remaining Earthrealm warriors to fight the newest threat, Shinnok's forces. And in MK9 we didn't really learn much. It's pretty much just like a repeat of the Mortal Kombat 1992 bio, so we'll just skip over that one. To fast forward 25 years, Johnny had a daughter with Sonya Blade, and they end up naming her Cassie Cage. They eventually split, and he serves as a consultant to the special forces. He tolerates occasional run-ins with his ex-wife just to be near his daughter Cassie. Peaking at the age of 28, Johnny now fights to protect Earthrealm and from all who wish to do it harm. He proves that he's even braver in life than he is on the silver screen. But that's the end of the modern era of Johnny Cage. Now we're going to talk about the new era. The new Johnny Cage. So the new Johnny is already struggling to remain relevant. You wouldn't know it by the giant mansion, but it seems like this Johnny is another person that was impacted with Liu Kang's mistake. Because I want to rehash. Johnny Cage wasn't a struggling actor in the beginning of the story. He only became that like way later in the story, like probably like around Deadly Alliance Deception. That's when he started struggling. In the beginning, he was a successful box office hit. So it's kind of crazy. Like even though it's not as bad as what happened with Kenshi and Kitana, like for his character and his role, it kind of is, because like he was always successful. So seeing that he's struggling, like it was crazy. Like the old Johnny Cage was very arrogant and cocky the last time because he got everything he wanted. He wanted riches, he got it. He wanted women, he got it. He wanted cars, he got it. It didn't matter what he wanted, he had it. But in this new era, just judging from a few lines, he seems a bit more selfish and bitter, probably due to his decline in Hollywood. I do think by the next game, Johnny will go back to his old cocky, arrogant self, especially if Sonya is around. I just hope that these lines weren't just taken out of context. That way, I hope that they are taken out of context. So, cause like I don't want Johnny Cage's character to change that much. Like I don't want him to be bitter and stuff. Like I want him to be like that, you know, happy-go-lucky, arrogant person that he's always been. But you can clearly see that some of his arrogant personality has definitely come into his mechanics and intros, especially like, you know, the middle finger one, and then like when he does his taunting, like so I'm really hoping that it's the same Johnny we know and love. Like Johnny's impacted Mortal Kombat, especially after the Mortal Kombat 9 were indeed huge. I know there are those who didn't care for the MKX story, and I feel like it was mainly due to the Kombat kids, but I liked all the Johnny Cage parts. I thought they were very good. If you ask me, like, I think Takeda's story wasn't bad either. Like I really liked him. He was like my favorite character in MKX. But anyways, Johnny really grew up in MK11. His character had a big glow up. At the end, Johnny showed us that it was time he was worth it. For Sonya and Cassie, he was a great hero, helping the other Earthrealmers and Outworlders to try and protect their timeline. Even though it failed, I like the overall story of Johnny Cage in the NRS era. But what do you guys think about Johnny Cage in the NRS era? Do you think Johnny Cage in the new era will be different, or will he be the same as the last timeline? But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed what you watched today, please give it a like and a sub to the channel. I post weekly videos and reactions to all new Mortal Kombat 1 related news. Thanks for watching this new chapter of Face Yourself. Remember guys, friendships over fatalities, don't be a jerk, and I'll see you guys in the next video.